Life here's lived too quick for her. Maybe you think you're fast enough to keep up with us, huh? Faster than you'll ever live to be.
Really good. Best Masters I've ever been to. Just the field, the players, the teams, the reffing is very good all across the board. So yeah, facilities are great. As I said, this for us, no, you don't even know who's going to win. So it's becoming a big grinding match, which is good. It'd either be Crisis or Sacramento DMG, who actually just drew. So they're both really on their points. So it's good.
We lost a match yesterday to Perth Crisis. Came down to the last couple seconds, you know, and they buzzed it in. Couple mistakes here or there goes a long way in a 1-2 match, and so they won that 2-1, unfortunately. But so we're already down 3, so that means we're 4-3 going into tomorrow. We got 2 big games tomorrow against DMG and Sydney SWAT. So you know, 2 great teams. We need to win those.
I think Crisis and DMG are both they're crushing it, but I think maybe the top 5 teams, 5-6 teams, are all on a really even pegging. So you know, SWAT's always going to be a contender. DMG, Crisis. We don't look at any particular team as a more of a threat. We go, it's a team, but we play our game. Again, it's more on us than on who we're playing. So
coming back over to Masters, which we haven't been to for 5 years, I think. It's a bit of a wake-up call, and these are the best guys in Australia and some of the best players in the world. So it's yesterday was hard, but today we've bounced back. We've had a couple of really good wins. We had a great upset win against Expendables, who are one of the favourites. I think they're sitting second at the moment. So yeah, it's we've gelled much better today. You'd have to say DMG will take this event, and then Crisis are up there. Our friends from Perth, they're set to win the series. And it'd be great to see them take the event, but I think it'll be them and Crisis and DMG in the final.
So far this weekend's been really good. We're undefeated. We did tie our last game, but I believe it was probably the toughest team that we were up against DMG. Right now we're sitting with 4 wins and a tie.
So do you think DMG is your biggest competition this weekend?
Yeah, you know, they're a great team. They play semi-pro over in the NXL. They just won the series. They won World Cup. They won 4 out of 5 events, as a matter of fact. You know, so it'll either be them or, you know, there's a few other teams that are, you know, typical top dogs here. SWAT is really good. Explicit could come out and be good. And then, you know, a lot of the teams have other Americans guesting with them. So, you know, there's going to be a sleeper team that slips in there for sure and will give us good games.
Competition's really good. I would say we just played Crisis, and so far they were kind of our hardest match. Our first point went really long, so we didn't really get to see their potential and our potential versus them as well. So they're looking pretty good. So is SWAT. We played them earlier. The score doesn't really dictate, I think, their skill level. They got some minors and whatnot, and we capitalized this kind of thing. But Other than that, I think right now those are the top two that I would say that we're kind of focusing more on.
My name's Sean Patrick. Normally I play for Southeast Cartel down in Victoria, and I'm playing for the Eskimo Brothers today.
Very good. How's the tournament going so far?
Good, good. It's hot, real hot, which is hard in some of the bigger movement positions, but it's great, you know. It's good fun. Everyone's running around shooting each other, so you can't get better than this.
Do we have a pod runner?
Yesterday and lost the first two games, but it wasn't even a loss. You know, when you go 10 points against SWAT, you know, we took them to the wire, but didn't come away with the win. And then played Crisis after that. We took a couple of points off them, but still lost that game. So it was no biggie. We're still here and got a big smile on our faces and still love paintball. And yeah, we're not leaving yet.
We played our hearts out and have just basically missed out on running with the top four in semis. So yeah, a bit disappointing, but we have probably played one of the best weekends of paintball that we have in a while. So, I mean, yeah, definitely Sacramento. They have an amazing roster, and obviously being from just taking out the semi-pro championship over in the States, they're definitely looking favourites to win, but I would not take out Perth Crisis. They've played amazing all year. They're set to take the championship. Basically, I really think that it's going to come down to those two teams, and then I don't know. I think it'll be a coin toss.
So far, so good. I mean, we've lost a couple points, or a couple matches rather. We're sitting in 3rd place, and we're moving on to play the DMG guys, who we actually lost to yesterday morning, but and they actually beat us pretty good. So I think that we're gonna come out a little stronger against them today. Challenge. You know, if we make it past them, we're most likely gonna probably play Perth Crisis, because I think they're playing the next best. And then obviously that'll be a big hurdle playing against Marcelo. We were up on them yesterday 2-1, and then we ended up losing 3-2. So it was a bit gutting on that. We could have handed them their first loss.
I would definitely say Sacramento DMG. Those guys are just absolutely on fire. Obviously, they won the semi-pro and the NXL, and they're getting bumped up to pro next season. They play a really solid, tight game, and I honestly think that they might take this out.
Well, currently we're in the top seed. Underneath us is DMG. They'll be playing SWAT. They're in 3rd place, and then under them is Expendables coming in at 4th. Look, DMG, Sacramento DMG, they're an amazing squad. I've been scouting them a lot before they even got here, and watching those guys, they've got it all. They move well, they break shoot great, they've got everything going for them. So they'll probably be the toughest team, I'd say. We drew with them in the prelims, and if we make it into the final match, I'm expecting to be playing those guys.
After preliminary play, the top 4 teams of the professional and semi-professional divisions prepare for semi-final action on the pro field.
You said you'd never lie to me, but now you're running around carefree. You said I'd be your only one, but now this love I had for you is done.
After losing their rematch with SWAT, tournament favourites Sacramento DMG go on to win their match against the Expendables, securing a 3rd place finish. Sydney SWAT and Perth Crisis now contend for the title in the most prestigious event of the Super 7 series.
Come on, boys. This is it.
white unipods. Someone get on hoppers, please. Try and use these.
Hey, no pep talk, no bullshit. This is the last one, all right? Just let it roll.
This is it, boys!
Hey, don't cheers up. We just gotta keep that insane flavor.
Guillotine.
After a particularly rough year, Sydney SWAT win the paintballshop.com Australian Masters. In contrast with the elation felt by SWAT, Perth Crisis come to terms with their second place finish.
Yes, yes. I want you guys to play all 5 points. You guys should be hungry to do that. Yeah. Right?
And don't shoot.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Don't shoot me. But look, fucking awesome job. Way to learn too, huh? We adapted some things. So pick it up, dude. And look,
thank you guys. As a captain, I wanted at least one win this year.
Despite the finals loss, Crisis have been a powerhouse this season, with 2 first-place finishes and 2 seconds, earning them a place well above the competition as the 2017 champions. They're the 5th team in 12 years to win this highly sought-after distinction. For all the teams involved, the Super 7 series pushes them to physical and emotional limits. They're driven to achieve their best in the most prestigious tournament series in Australia.